99% of players think they need better aim to climb through the ranks. While this is true, better aim takes lots of practice and lots of repetition. Changing how you think about the game and about how you think about positioning will make you better right now. Positioning is something you can improve instantly and will make you better almost immediately. I've coached thousands of players and helped them climb from ranked to pros to top streamers. If you fix these main problems, you will start winning more fights and climbing through the ranks almost immediately. I'm Kips. I'm an MRC champion winner. I have many tournaments behind me, and I've coached many top-level Ignite teams over the year. Today, I'm going to help you become better at Marvel Rivals in what's most important, positioning. Our main topic today is off angles. Once you understand off angles, you will win more games, and I'm going to break this down into 3 core concepts. Finding your optimal range, how we're going to pressure the enemy team's supports, and how we're going to defend our angles and defend our supports. If you understand these 3 concepts front to back, you'll gain so much more value in your games, and you'll see it right away. Starting off strong, we're going to go into optimal range. This is the foundation of taking any good angle. Before you even think about where to position, you need to understand the range of your character and where you want to fight, because your off angle should always be built around your character's optimal range. Melee characters, these are our close range characters. These are who we want to just punch the other team in the face, which means our off angle needs to be a lot closer. And if our off angle is a lot closer, it's going to take a bit more time to set up. We're trying to approach the enemy team from an outside their vision, an outside angle, and rotate into their backline as quick as possible onto a close angle so we can get there very fast. The reason we don't want to engage from the front is because 1, they're gonna see us, and 2, we're gonna usually have to use a cooldown or some kind of resources to get into their backline. We don't want to do that. We want to arrive right into their backline, right when our team starts fighting, and we want to take a nice shallow angle and apply tons of pressure onto their backline right away. If you're playing your melee character from the front, you're draining a lot of team resources where you can just find nice off angles to apply that good pressure. So right here, he could engage from the front, but it's bad. So instead he rotates around, even though he's half health, and he engages backline. Obviously kites away. He goes in again, he engages from the backline, just something to keep in for melee pressure onto supports, how to actually engage as a melee DPS. Now we're going in reverse. Ranged characters are the opposite. Ranged characters want to take nice long angles and play far away. This doesn't mean that the setup is short by any means, because you can still take a nice long angle and rotate deep around the other team, but it's going to be at a long range area because you want to play in your optimal range. If you stand too close, it's very easy for the other team to mark you, pressure you, shoot you, whatever it may be. But if you take a nice safe angle that's also connected to your team, you have the resources to fight back, and you're also putting a lot of pressure on the enemy team's backline. So for melee characters, you want nice close pressure, and for ranged characters, you want a safe distance pressure. Understanding this is the first building blocks to taking good off angles. The second thing you need to learn is how to pressure supports. This is the real reason off angles win fights. Most fights are decided by which supports get pressured first and which supports get killed first. If supports are comfortable, they heal freely, they use cooldowns however they want, and tanks don't die. But if we start to pressure supports and we pull the healing resources away from your tanks, tanks will now get pressured and tanks now have to back up and tanks lose space. And when tanks lose space, our front line gets to move forward. And when our front line gets to move forward, you know what happens? The other team gets collapsed on and they fall apart. The reason taking just main is bad is because we don't get to do that. DPS are just shooting shields. Tanks are now always getting healed. Nothing really changes and supports are under no pressure. We need to change that, and we need to make everyone feel the pressure of what we're doing. That solution is taking an off angle. Once you take an off angle, everything changes. Your line of sight opens up. Now tanks aren't blocking you anymore. Supports are visible. Supports have to react. They have to move. They have to reposition, use cooldowns. Lots of things start happening that even just taking that angle and applying just you being there, you don't need to hit more shots. You don't need to do anything better. Your presence of being there is going to apply a lot more pressure onto the enemy team, and they're going to notice that right away. The second part of this is cover pressure. When you're only shooting from one direction, supports, DPS, any squishies can comfortably play behind one cover. They have lots of safe space, they can move without being punished. Once you take that second angle, not just the shields, not just the tanks, but the actual cover, now when we shift to the left or right, we take away a lot of their cover and they have to reposition. This will reduce the enemy's options of where to play, and this is how we start to win our fights. Now the inverse. You just watch us taking an angle, how overpowered taking these angles are, and how detrimental it is to the enemy team. Now how do we stop it? There has to be a way to defend it. And there is. It's simple. Instead of attacking those angles, you still can attack those angles, but it's also about preventing the other team from taking those angles. So if the enemy team has a really good optimal angle, you want to shut that down by either playing more supported angles that pressure that space, or you want to find a way to optimize your range onto that angle. If they have someone who is in a medium range spot pressuring your team, you can either take a really long angle to pressure that area and pressure them out, or you put someone who's good at close range angles and you get them right on top of that medium range character and you push them at or kill them from that space. So good positioning isn't just about taking angles, it's about denying angles, because if the enemy team gets clean angles onto your backline, your supports are under constant pressure, your tanks stop getting healed, and now you fall apart very quickly. Most players think about the damage they're doing and what their very direct pressure is, while strong and very good players think about how they're actually helping the team as a whole. I just gave you the tools to improve quickly. You need to start thinking about off angles in this order first. First, am I playing my optimal range? If I close, am I far? Compared to the other team, let's say they're all really far range characters, well, I need to be closer to them. If they're all melee characters, well then even if I'm a medium range character, I need to be farther away. Number 2, am I pressuring supports? You need to pressure backline, you need to pressure their DPS, you need to pressure their supports. You can't just shoot tanks forever. You're not going to actually apply any pressure, you're just going to charge the enemy's ults. And number 3, am I denying angles? Am I denying the other team from pressuring my team? Am I doing my job? Mind you, anyone can do this. Tanks, supports, DPS, anyone can apply this pressure onto an off angle to shut the enemy team down from taking that angle and to applying very easy pressure onto us. And once we start thinking of these 3 basic steps, we'll start getting way more value in our fights right away. Because off angles aren't about mechanics, they're about standing in the right place at the right time. And once you understand these angles and work on these angles, everything starts to get a lot easier for your team, and your gameplay will look completely different. If you think these were good concepts you want to learn and you want a much deeper dive into them, come check out my Twitch or my Discord, where I do a lot more deeper dives into these concepts and I go over a lot of things in detail down below.